Good morning, everyone. How are you? Halloween is over. It was a blast last night. Went out with some family and kids, and oh, they got a ton of treats. We went through them, and yeah, they're pretty excited. So today, the Happiness Project is here, and I'm coming to you live alone, and that's okay. Alone is good. Pushes me outside of my comfort zone and gives me a chance to talk to you guys on my own. So today I wanted to talk to you about admitting when you're wrong, and let's just get something out there right now. None of us are perfect. There is no perfect human being, and every person who is trying to be perfect or strives for perfection is still not perfect. No one is perfect. We all have our faults. We all make mistakes, and you know, we're human, right? It's in human nature. We make mistakes. We fail. We strive for greatness. But admitting that we are wrong is something that can be completely life-changing, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So, it's funny because there's so many stories that, that happen in our life, or that we can come up with that have happened in our life situations where we know that we were in the wrong, but we just can't admit it. And it could be a pride thing. It could be something we've learned as we were children and have grown into. But a lot of us don't admit when we're wrong, and I was one of those people. I never wanted to admit I was wrong. I just didn't like that feeling, the feeling of either letting someone down, or like really owning my mistake. And it's funny because when I wouldn't want to admit that I was wrong and felt like I was letting that person down by admitting my failure, I never realized that I'm really letting that other person down. I'm really hurting them. And because they were right, and not right, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, but they were right, and it's unfair of me or any of us to really make them feel like they were the problem. And that's what happens, right? Like, say you're driving in a car and, I don't know, you cut someone off, and you then pull into the grocery store. That person's going to the same grocery store, and they confront you and say, hey, you cut me off. That's dangerous. I have my kid in the back car. Could you maybe be more careful? And immediately we will get our backs up. I didn't cut you off. You were driving this way, or whatever it may be. But immediately we get our backs up because we know we were in the wrong. We know we made a mistake, but we can't admit it because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's admitting to ourselves and just, like I said, feeling like we're a jerk, or we failed, or whatever feeling we get from not admitting. I know for me, for instance, say if, Mark and I have a disagreement, okay? And we do have disagreements. We're very passionate people, and all marriages have, like, all married couples, all couples, period, argue or have disagreements, right? That's normal. That's life. We're not perfect. So see, we're having a disagreement, and I have to admit, a lot of the times when this is happening, it is because I don't own I don't own my mistakes. And I don't mean mistakes, but sometimes I can have a certain tone to my voice that is very just rude. And I can admit that. I admit that. When I'm looking at my phone or busy working, when I'm not paying attention to what Mark is saying to me, or I become very rude, and that's what happens. I think that's the way society is going right now, with having access to a mobile device constantly in your hands. And I'm constantly on mine when I'm not, I have my hours where I stay away from it because I'm with my family. But when I am, I become rude. And at first I didn't want to admit it. I was like, no, I'm working. You need to take a step back and not have this conversation with me. And then he would get upset. I'm like, why is he upset? He doesn't have a right to be upset. And And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, I am being a huge jerk here. If I just had to put my phone down or really listen to what he was saying to me in this, disagreement we're having, then this could have turned out a different way, right? So, and that's what I like about admitting when you're wrong, okay? So in that situation, if I had have just put my phone down and listened properly and had that conversation, no one would be upset. There would be no hard feelings and everything would be all good. But instead, I chose to have that just tone, like, you're bugging me, what do you want? That's the type of tone. And I know we have them. And then, of course, he gets his back up because no one deserves that. People don't deserve to be spoken to that way. They deserve your attention, especially your loved one, right? It's easier to do that to your loved one than it is to anyone else. We respect everyone we don't know, right? So you do it to your loved one. So, I learned from that. So he gets his back up and then I get my back up and it goes back and forth and we both have our backs up and everyone's upset, right? And then there's all these feelings stewing and we're all upset and we, it's just a disaster. And then it takes about, an hour or two for some couples, maybe even overnight to get over it. What I learned is how to admit I was wrong. And when you admit that you're wrong, you grow and you make change, right? And when you grow and make change, you start to become happier because you're really owning your faults, you're really owning your mistakes, and you're really just starting to pay more attention around to the people around you. Smile. When I'm passionate, I can't smile. So listen, guys, you have to own your, admit that you're wrong, own that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that, you're not amazing. You are. What's more amazing is that you can admit it, move on, progress, and grow so that doesn't happen anymore. And that is the power of admitting your wrongs. So have a great Wednesday, hump day. Very excited. I am off to work this morning and I'll see y'all later. Have a great day. Bye, guys.